Jake the Film Guy, Microbudgeter.com. In this video, we're going to talk about what camera you should be using in 2019.
Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring.
I'm going to save you guys the suspense. Use the camera you already got in your pocket. If you're shooting on the iPhone, shoot on the iPhone. If you're shooting on an Android, use your Android. No, if you already have something old, like a Canon, use that camera. There you go. I've said it, and now I'll explain why. If you already have a camera, why bother upgrading? After all, as Stephen King was so brilliantly asked one time, "Hey, what kind of pencil do you use to write with?" His witty response was number 2. Meaning, it's not the pencil that makes the novel, it's the writer. And it's the same for you. God gave you a gift. You can use the camera that you are shooting on to tell a story. It can be cinematic, it can be informative, it can be emotive, it can be celebratory. Whatever the case may be, whatever you have in your toolkit, that's the camera you should stick with. Now, for those who don't have the ability to upgrade their camera, there are a couple of things you can do. First of all, you can download the app called Filmic Pro. It'll allow you to control manual settings on your phone, like exposure, color temperature, and so on and so forth. Last I checked, it's $10 in the App Store, so give that a whirl. Now, if you're in a place where your church or your business, whatever the case may be, can't afford to drop a few dollars on a camera, I use and recommend the Canon cinema cameras. Specifically, I use the C100 Mark II. It's an all-around workhorse. You can use it in any condition whatsoever, and we all know that Canon has a really good handle on that color science. So you can't go wrong with those guys. But Jake the Film Guy, what if I can't afford one of those and I want to get a new camera? Well, then stick with the one you have, bubs. Again, this is to discourage you from getting the gear frenzy that plagues so many of us micro-budget filmmakers, because the truth of the matter is you have to get better as a cinematographer, as a director, as a producer, as an editor, as a storyteller, the whole 9 yards before you level up the gear needs. Now, if you're running a company that serves Coca-Cola, Wells Fargo, so on and so forth, well, first of all, you're probably not watching this YouTube channel. And secondly, if that's the case, well then of course you're going to level up everything, not just the camera that you're shooting on, but also your leadership and certainly personnel. If you're a micro-budget filmmaker like myself and most of the folks watching this channel, then you can really get by with whatever you have in your pocket. These days phones are shooting 4K, and with the app like I mentioned earlier, the Filmic Pro app, you can have greater control over how your image looks. So get better at the tool that you already have, get very comfortable with it, test it in every conceivable condition. Low lighting, extreme lighting, indoors, outdoors, windy, not windy. Put it through the ringer before you upgrade your camera. Again, look at the UK-based micro-budget filmmaker Simon Cade as a wonderful example of what you can create using the tools you already have. So in 2019, stick with what you have. Go ahead and hit that like button while you're watching this video. And if you stick around, I've got a bonus for you at the very end of the video. Stay tuned. This is not a channel about the latest gear. This is a channel about how you can take your God-given gifts and use video to bless the community that you have been uniquely positioned to serve. If you're into wedding videos, that's great. That's a niche. Be the best wedding videographer in your town. If you want to serve small businesses through the power of cinematic stories, 2D, then go ahead, be that guy, be that girl in your town. If you, like me, are trying to learn how to tell stories that are going to reach billions, well, follow along in this journey of good, bad, and ugly. Along the way, I'll teach you financing and marketing tips. Head on over to the blog, Microbudgeter.com. Subscribe to the newsletter, and that way you're always getting the latest and greatest in the content. Until next time, keep creating with the king. As promised, here's the bonus, and that's why you should consider a cinema camera. If you, in your place of business, if you, in your house of worship, whatever the case may be, can afford one. Here we go. Number 1, they have a built-in vector scope. Number 2, ND filters, you need those. 3, the Canon color science. 4, waveform monitor. 5, you can have any kind of input come in via XLR into your camera. Meaning if you have a mic or a phantom mic, or even a line signal, meaning you have some kind of audio signal coming from a board, anything other than mic, you can feed that bad boy right into the Canon. You can have it on one channel, you can have it on 2 channels. It's phenomenal. They even have a cinema profile already loaded on the camera. That would be reason number 7. And I'm going to leave you with this. Number 10, this thing uses all your favorite Canon glass, just like any other Canon body. Hey!
You have 3 minutes. Walk in, do your thing. It's the home stretch. Imagine. Bottom of the 8th, bases are loaded,